So now you have that. You're gonna wanna put the blowing tube back in. Oh, wait, never mind. Take this other half sheet roll, slide it on the bullet tube, so that way you can use it as an extension on the way out. So now you have this. Slide this in. Alright, so now you have that there. Now it's starting to look like a Mach 11 a little bit. Get a piece of tape, rip it in half, and tape that half sheet tube to the actual gun. Oh, look, I found here. So that way, this doesn't move. Make sure you get the tape firmly down, because as you if it's up and you start blowing, it'll peel the tape up and you have to re-tape this down. So make sure that's taped down firmly so that way you can move the blowing tube in and out. Alright, good. So now we have this, what we're going to do now is attach the magazine. So get the half sheet tube, cut a U in one end. Okay, so pretty much cut a U, and you're going to want to attach this to the actual gun barrel about midpoint. So about midpoint. How you attach it is 2 pieces of tape on the tall end. So on this end and this end, get 2 pieces of tape and tape it on that way. You want to hold it down with your fingers like this. Get it about exactly where you want it. And then let the tape go, and then just push the tape on. Tape it on, make sure it's firm. Apply some more tape on the magazine so the tape doesn't come off. You can apply 1 or 2 pieces on the body to make sure it doesn't come off, because this has a tendency to come off. Slide your thin tube in. And voila, your magazine is attached. So now what you need to do is, basically now that you have the actual work of the gun done, you need to add the finishing details on it, so you can actually start using the gun. So take your scissors or an X-Acto knife. An X-Acto knife would work better, but I'm just going to use scissors. Bend your finger over like this. Actually, no, that's a bad measurement. Just go about this far on the gun. Go about this far in the gun. Make an incision right between the 2 tubes. You push down, you can feel the gap. You start making a cut right between about 2 inches, maybe an inch long, 2 inches long. Make it on both sides, about the same spot. This might take some practice to get right, so you have to bear with yourself. Okay, so now you have the incisions. Basically, the next step is just cut the shell out so you reach both sides. If you don't know what I mean by that, then you can just watch this and you'll see what I mean. You can actually go like this too. If you have to, you can just rip it. It doesn't look as good, but I'm just going to resort to ripping it because I'm not going to be keeping this. Just making this for informational purposes. Okay, well, then once you have that done, oh, it looks like crap. Tape this down so it actually looks a little decent. Okay, so now what we did, recap, attach the magazine and the actual magazine holder, made an incision on towards the front of the gun to make it look more like a gun. Alright, now second incision we're making. Pull out your scissors and X-Acto knife again. About halfway between the stock, more like a third, you're going to want to cut that out. So in a third of that. About like that. About like, I cut right there. That's about where you want to cut. So then make another incision right there. Just make it, don't go on all the way on the other side. Just stay on this side. That's what you want to do, is stay on this side. So right there, perfect. I'm just ripping it off for demonstration purposes because I'm not keeping this. But you want to cut it with an X-Acto knife so you can actually make it look good. Alright. Now get your half sheet, this thing I told you to save. Cut a small strip of it off. You have about that much, but that thick. And you want to fold it in half, like that. Tape it down good, because depending on how you folded it, it might want to come apart. So make sure you have this taped right on that piece. Okay, next is you're gonna want to make an incision, like a U incision for the magazine holder. Make another U cut. Okay, got the U one. What you're gonna want to do is get this attached on there. Hang on, I'm just modifying this. Alright, so now you're going to want to tape this down. You might want to slide this back a little bit. Okay, so have it right there. Alright, I know where I'm going to attach it. Alright, so then do the same thing you did with this, except for just attach the flat sides. You can use like a hot glue or crazy glue for this, but I'm going to stick true to paper gun making and use only tape. If you're making a cardboard gun, then I'd suggest using hot glue. Basically, your next job for this is to tape this down.